This is bad, or this is good, this is bad.
I have a surprising bit of information that I
Well,
can.
we're live now.
Oh, we're live
It didn't
now.
even give. It didn't give me the countdown. Didn't give me the intro. Didn't give me anything.
Oh,
If it helps, I got the notification from my
so,
phone.
so are we on Junkyard
We are
Breaks?
on Junkyard Breaks. This
Junkyard
is like,
Break.
I swear to God, like whenever we don't do this often, it just all the hiccups come in.
Well, has anybody seen the Venom 3 trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
terrible.
This,
Terrible.
Terrible.
I would say, dare I say, it looks okay.
wait, Jim, which trailer did you see?
Did you see
I
the
saw
one
the
with the
full trailer.
the one with the horse at the end?
Yeah, with the horse and
Venom
with
Venom horse? No.
I
The
saw all
only
of it.
see the only part I saw was the stupid the stupid part where Venom and him are doing the slapstick again.
It was
We are Venom. We are Venom. We are Venom. Like it was like for the love of God.
yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. I
Who
thought.
is who is making this okay? Is like the foreign market still going to see the Venom movies, and so like they're making 400 million, and so everybody's like everything's good, like it's making $400 million. Like
I
who's
don't know. I don't know, but maybe it's the fact that two people from Ted Lasso are in it, and it you know it
Jim's
taint
love affair
it
with Ted Lasso just
it tainted
continues.
Oh my
it tainted
God.
my
You and Ted
my,
Lasso.
my view.
Oh, I see what Jimmy's saying. So Jimmy's saying now that like Lasso is working against him. His love for Ted Lasso is working against him. He feels like he liked it more than he should have because of the Ted Lasso effect.
Who's in it from Ted Lasso?
It has what's her name who plays Phoebe or not Phoebe
Oh yeah, it does have
plays
her
Kelly
in it.
Jones, and it has the kid who plays Danny Chavez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dolph says bitter beer face to that.
Yeah, not on my radar. I know you're talking about, but I mean,
Not gonna work here anymore.
all right. Yeah, Venom was terrible. I thought it was terrible. I haven't watched. If you watched the first two of Acolyte, I haven't even tried it yet.
I watched the first one.
It got stupid good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, like 94% or something like that.
That's not what I'm reading. Really?
Yeah, 90. I think it was 93% when I checked last night.
Yeah.
Have you watched it, Jay?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Well,
I watched the Jim Henson documentary,
Yeah,
the new Jim
Okay.
I gotta
Henson one.
watch that. That looks
That was
good.
great.
I started it and then I was like, I need to like actually focus on this, so I turned it
Yes.
off.
I often find myself now like not focusing on anything. I'm like watching a show, but I'm only half watching it. So, oh, that's what happened, Jim. I started watching Sandman actually. I never watched
oh
Sandman.
yeah, yeah.
I watched Sandman.
Sandman's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, the death episode is probably in the pantheon of TV episodes. It's amazing. It's so good.
I'm only
I
through
think it's
the
6.
third episode where he goes to hell to get his helm back.
hmm I think the death episode's 6. It's amazing.
That's
Like,
the good stuff.
somebody just wrote something in Yahoo about like Lost and is it worth a rewatch? And I was like, the first 2 seasons are worth rewatching. And then I said that the Charlie episode, no spoilers, but the Charlie episode is probably one of the greatest episodes in television.
I mean, there's some amazing Lost episodes, right?
The
And
The
then
Charlie one stands out to me. That one is
and
just
it
amazing.
just gets off the rails after a while.
Yeah, they start creating mystery and don't answer any of it. It gets a
Right.
little in the weeds. Like I feel like since the audience had already like figured it out that they didn't know what to do. Plus they have
You mean the audience figured out that they didn't know what they were doing?
no,
Like
the
they
audience
had
figured out the plan already. Like
Oh,
right from go, everybody knew that it was like purgatory and they're like, "Okay, now what are we going to do?"
yeah.
Like they got us figured out and we're trying to drag this out for 5 seasons or whatever the hell it was, and it's just like the finale was terrible. I was so disappointed with that show
I'm
after 2 seasons.
I gotta go run and get a drink. But yeah, like it just reminded me, Lost and Game of Thrones,
Hmm.
the last the last half of the last seasons were the same. It was like
Ye-
how like man, just the idea of an entire creative team running out of steam, and then the machine that is,
But that's just it, though. Are they a creative team? Because all the good stuff was based on the books, and when they ran out of the books, they weren't so creative.
well, right. I guess I meant that more. I guess I meant that more for Lost,
Yeah,
but then, yeah. I mean, they were throwing everything at it, in HBO. Like,
I saw their new show too, the Three Body Problem. Did you guys watch that?
I watched part of it.
No,
Yeah,
I kept on starting the
yeah. I can see that. Even it's funny too, because remember Jimmy, how the Three Body Problem podcast kept starting on
yeah.
us. Um, it literally does not talk about the show. Like the first episode is talking about the premise of the show, and then they interview a guy who's like in the Secret Service or something like that, or a guy who's like a UFO detective. It has nothing to do with the show. And then they talk about like toppling governments and conspiracy theories, but they never talk about the show. They do in little bits. They even have Benioff and Weiss on the show, and they don't talk about the show. It's the worst podcast I've ever listened to. It's like I thought it would have been like a recap podcast, but they don't recap anything. Even the finale, they don't even talk about the finale. I'm like, okay, I can't listen to this. It's terrible. And not only that, they kind of leave you at a point where there better be a season 2, because otherwise it's got to be the worst cliffhangers in all of history. I think I want to read the book. I think it's 3 books. I almost want to read the book.
book per body,
What?
a book per body.
Yeah, yeah. The 3 body problem. It took me forever to figure that out. It just means there's 3 celestial bodies on this one planet that they have so much force and energy, like that they. I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's so hard. It's so annoying. Richard watched 1 episode and that was enough for me. Yeah, I tried it. My dad liked it. I don't know. Let's see what season 2 brings. Right now I'm watching it's a British show with Peter Capaldi, which I like him a lot. It's called what the hell is it called?
I couldn't stand him as Doctor Who.
Really? I liked him as Doctor Who.
No, I couldn't stand his Doctor Who.
It's called Criminal Record. It's good. And Mayor of Kingstown just came back. I want to watch that. That's such a good show. You didn't like Capaldi, huh? Because he's intense,
No.
right? You like the humor.
He's too intense.
He's very intense. So I mean, if
it was just like,
yeah,
and they
the
said
other
they
I
said
mean,
that his doctor was like more shell shocked from like all the wars and the death and the grief that he experienced through the seasons. So that's why he was so like. "Arr." He
yeah,
was also much more violent than the other Doctor Who's. Like he was willing to do more than the other Doctor Who's ever would.
yeah.
He was like the antithesis of Matthew Smith or Matt Smith.
Well, they were jokey, especially Tennant. He was very jokey. And was Capaldi after Matt Smith?
Yeah,
Yeah. But
it
then
was it was Eccleston. Tennant,
Eccleston is
Matt
just
Smith.
as serious as Capaldi, though.
Yeah,
I mean, he was
but all of his entire run was like dark. All the stories were dark. The first
Eccleston
episode,
or
yeah,
yeah.
the first episode was super dark.
That's why it was weird when you go from him to David Tennant, because they're like so different. I don't know. I can't get into Doctor Who. I did watch them all up until the girl. I couldn't get into that.
Well, the crazy thing is that I was going through my separation when I started watching them. Actually, I hurt my back, so I was on my back for like 3 weeks.
And you just
So I
decided
started
to watch
watching those.
Doctor Who.
And then a couple months later, I was separated from my ex-wife, and I was sleeping in the basement, and she was upstairs, and I would just watch Doctor Who constantly.
Yeah, that's one way to pass the time.
Yeah, Doctor Who and oh my God, I always forget his name. Gordon? No. He's a talk show host in Great Britain.
Oh,
It's not Gordon, right?
I don't know,
No.
but it does sound familiar that it could be a Gordon.
Yeah, he has like 4 or 5 guests all at the
Yeah,
same
all on the
time.
couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
what is his name?
Oh my gosh, you keep thinking of Gordon. I keep thinking of Gordon Ramsay, but it's not Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
But he is
It's
Gordon, right?
I feel like it's Gordon. Yeah, he's great.
Gordon. Oh,
I could never find his
Graham, isn't it Graham?
Graham Norton.
Graham
Graham
Norton.
Norton.
Graham Norton. There you
Sounds
go.
like Gordon when you put the two
When
together.
you put him together, Graham Norton Gordon.
Trust the Graham Norton fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah, his show is really good. I like his show.
I
Yeah,
like how he forces everybody to talk together because
Yeah,
he
he's
just
so
invites
chill,
them all in
too.
at the same time.
And they drink, which is also nice.
Yeah.
They're all
So it
like
loosens
half.
them all up.
It's like the Golden Globes. They're all half in the bag.
Hey, Richard. Richard's on. Did you say hey to him already?
We did because
Okay.
we were talking about 3 body problem. Richard,
Oh.
that's what he's talking about. He watched one episode and he's like, "Nah."
Yeah, I can't remember. I watched like 4 episodes and I gave up because I can't remember where I gave up, but there was just nothing that was like keeping me there.
Because it was all. It's all like tease. The whole thing's a tease.
But I heard Dolph from the kitchen. Completely with you. I was like, what is the 3 body? Where are the 3 bodies? And then finally I realized, like to what you said, they were
Yeah,
They're talking-
it was the game that gave the 3 body problem.
Yes.
Like it's the puzzle that you have to solve in the VR game. Yeah, whatever. Which I didn't get. Like, what were they doing? Are they acolytes of the whatever race of alien is going to come kill us if they win the game, or are they pinpointing people that are a threat and they're making them play the game and then they're just killing? I don't know.
You're
It's
asking a
so
lot of great questions.
Stupid. I'm asking great questions.
You're, you're asking a lot of great
cares.
questions to which
Yeah.
we have none of the answers.
No, we don't have.
No.
Yeah, I know. Okay,
So let's talk about
let's talk about
Um,
stuff we got.
yeah, let's talk. Doc, why don't we kick it off with you? Because you went to what 2 big card shows, right? In the last.
Oh, all those
here?
those videos are coming and everything.
Okay.
Like after I recorded stuff, like most of it's put away. I do have. So I did get this. So I'm down for my look and sees, my 52 look and sees. I'm down to the 3 most expensive cards: the Queen Elizabeth, the Rembrandt, and Babe Ruth. And I did get my Queen Elizabeth. So
Oh wow,
I did get that one, and I got it.
that's pretty
for-
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I have Queen Elizabeth. So I need Rembrandt and Babe Ruth, and I'm done with that set.
Is
Um,
Babe Ruth the by far the most expensive?
Yeah, there was a guy who had one at the show. He wanted 400 for it and had a big old crease through the middle. So 400 for that. It's probably. I mean, that you can't get more than a 2 grading that one with a crease. I did get another Mars Attacks. This is Burning Navy Ships. I think I have 3 left. And I did get this, which is amazing. I already had one, but this one is a Mars Attack checklist that is unmarked. These are very hard to find. So it is a little warped, and I'm going to do a video. It's got, you see that?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to do a video on fixing it. I'm going to flatten this up. And there's also a bit of like tide lines right there, which I don't think shows up on the camera, but there's like a little water damage. There's like a tide line like this. And I did a test of a 52 tops card that also had a water stain, a tide line. Soaked it overnight in water, put it under the t-shirt press. Gone. Tide line is gone. So I will probably soak this in water.
And those are Those are tops as well, right?
Tops, yeah.
Yeah.
Around the same time too, which is why I tried a 52. These are 60, 50. No, wait a minute, 62.
Okay.
Same paper though, so I figured
Right.
I'd give it a shot, and it did work. So I already know I can flatten a card. I just didn't know about the tide line, so I think I can get it out of there. But anyway, and I did get
But
two new. I got tons of comics here too. I did get two new sketch cards. I got that Kylo, which
oh,
is
cool.
nice, and then he threw in the BB-8, which I didn't even ask for, which is cool. Those are from England. And then I think, oh, I did get these. So this is in my video, but so I started my 32 U.S. Caramel President set. This is my first card. It's Benjamin Harrison.
Nice. Bought it graded.
Yep, I bought
Which
it
is kind
graded
of nice.
authentic, which is fine. I'm not looking for high grade because those things cost, the commons cost a fortune. And there was a guy at that show that did have 40 Superman. So, and these were, I want to say 140 each. There's 70 something, 74 cards in the set, so I got a long way to go. But that's card number 18. These are 1940 Superman. They're
Oh,
really
cool.
cool, and I love this one with the squid and the scuba diver guy. Like I
What are
love.
those like threes?
Both of them are 1.5s,
Oh, I couldn't see.
and
What are they?
these two are $40 each, and they're really damaged. But I'm just putting the set together. I'm not looking for anything like high grade. Because
Yeah, they look really
the
cool.
first card number 1 and card number 74 in high grade are in the 5 digits. And you're looking at, for a high grade Superman 1 card, you're looking at 50 grand. I'm not getting that. But you can get a 1 for 4.
Richard asked you a question about the Mars Attacks maxi cards.
Yes. No, I've seen those. I mean, yeah, I have the ones that you gave me too. That's a newer set though. These are a little bit harder to find. But they're very nice. Thank you. What
Um,
else?
Dolphin, the with those button books I'm sending you for Jim, I'm sending you. I got it in one of the collections. It's a FF78.
Cool.
You can
Thanks.
have it. It's got water damage. I don't know if you wanted to test in
I don't think I
any
can
kind of.
do it with comics. If you flood the paper, like I've seen guys do it, like Immaculate does it, where he'll
Like
unfold
the
it
whole
on
book,
a,
right?
like he'll fold it like this, like it's a waterfall. So he'll lay the comic flat, and then the water damaged part he'll lay down a piece of plexiglass, and then he just rains water down it like for a few minutes. And
Interesting.
just like flooding it with water, he seems to get out water damage. But you do risk the pages sticking together, so
Yeah.
I really don't want to mess with that.
That's the only reason I thought like give you a book. It is a complete book.
I could
If you
try, sure.
yeah, if
I
you
mean,
and it's yours. I'm just giving
oh,
it to
thank
you
you.
as you want to test something.
I did well too, and we went to Phantasm. Was it Phantasm? What's the name of the place? Nukem.
Nukem.
You
When we
can,
went to Nukem, he had a little group of Silver Age. So he had Spider. They were all coverless. Spider-Man, FF, Daredevil, Iron Man, Avengers. I grabbed them all for button books. Like
yeah,
there's some really good ones. And they're all $1 piece. So
that's cool.
yeah, very cool. I mean, I love it for $1. You turn it into $20.
Sure, you got either Ditko or Buscema art there, right?
Yeah, and Kirby.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, I can show you the comics that I got. This is one that I've been chasing after for a while. This is the DC
Oh
Universe,
yeah.
the 5th print of the first appearance of Doomsday. So this one is the rarest one of all of them. Typically, like the first appearance of Doomsday goes for, I don't know, $15,
Yeah.
$20, something like that. These go for like 150, and in high grade they can go like 300 or 400. So
So
I
is
had
the
one of these that I sold at the flea market. I wish I didn't. I think I
so the
sold
DC
mine for
Universe is
50.
the fifth print, or
DC
it's
Universe is the 5th print.
okay.
DC in the 90s, you could tell here.
Right.
There'd be
They did a
Roman
Roman numeral,
numerals.
right?
There'd be a Roman numeral 2, a Roman numeral 3, and I think there was a Roman numeral 4 when they went to the DC universe. That's the classification of this printing, so this is a fifth print. A lot shorter printed. But yeah. So it's just a rare version of the Doomsday Book, which, I like to get, me. I like to get the jewelers. I like to get the barcodes. I like the newsstand version. So
Dude, some of those DC Universe, like whatever that is, the Superman book with Supergirl
yeah,
on the cover is crazy expensive.
Superboy. The first appearance of King Shark also has a DC Universe logo too. That's a bit rare. Okay, this is all from Comic Link auction. So I got an 8.0 Mad Balls 1. I love Mad Balls. Had to get this.
Is that Pappy Gargamel and the
Yeah, it looks like Gargamel, doesn't it? I got a 6.0 FF72. Great surfer cover. I did not get these for a lot. I always do well with them. This one's a 9.8. I love this book. I have a few of them. The Spider-Man. This is the first Peter Parker Miles crossover book, so I have good feelings about this for the future. 6.5. This is the first appearance of Stingray. Grab that one. This one was cool. Because it was so cheap. I don't know why. I just lucked out. It's a 1.0. World's Finest Comics number 25. Nice golden age.
great? Is that a badminton cover?
Yeah, or tennis, something like that. Or he's hitting snowballs. I can't tell. And then this is the one that I had sent out to CGC and I got back. So I got a 9.0 on my Scooby-Doo. What is it, an 8? Yeah, Scooby-Doo 8. I got a 9.0. This was out of those 3-packs that I recorded that video. So I opened those 3-packs up.
Man, you don't realize how difficult Scooby-Doo are in high grade until you start looking at the.
Yeah, I don't know what the price is on this though. You know what? Let me go to Go Collect real quick. I don't know. I never looked it up. I never looked up the FMV.
Jimbo, you got some of your Hughes books in, right? You got your Gun Honeys in.
I got these 2 gun honeys. That's it.
I don't even.
Well, and you have like all your ones that are here are packed to go to you tomorrow. So
Well, so an 8.5 sold for 300, an 8.0 sold for 300. So I'm guessing that wow. If an 8.0 sold for 300, what's this in a 9.0? Maybe
I told you
500?
they're crazy
400?
hard for some reason to get higher grades.
Okay, so a 9.4 sold for 4, and an 8.0 sold for 3. So it's probably in the middle there, like 375. Not bad for how much did I spend? $5.
Yeah, some price compression there.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Maybe I'll sell it. I don't really have any attachment to it. I would prefer to have $400. What else? I think that's it for me. I have a bunch of stuff out at PSA to get graded. That Star Wars set that I got from Australia, I think is really high grade. So I sent out the first 10 cards in the set, and I think I sent 1 sticker too. 1 sticker looked really good. We'll see.
Do they look any different than the regular Topps cards?
Well, they are the regular Topps cards.
But you just bought them from Australia.
I bought them from a collector in Australia.
Okay.
The whole set was like 300, but the pictures they look so nice that I was like, all right, I'll give this a try, because number 1 in a 4 sells for like 300. So if I can get like a 7 or an 8 on it, I mean that's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I figured it's worth the flyer, even if I got a medium grade out of the first 3 cards, which is Luke, Princess Leia, and R2D2, I think, are the first 3, or maybe C3PO. But even the first 3, even if you get mid grade, I would have made my money back very easily. So I took a flyer. Well, let's see what I get. I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, since we've gone live last, I've got a lot of great comics that I've already sold.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
So um, I went to a book sale here, a women's book sale, and got
And half the collection is in Delaware.
yes, yeah, I got Jimmy all six really nice copies of Rose and Thorn, Jim.
Hmm.
Rose and Thorn, all six Hughes covers. If Jimmy had not been a Hughes collector beforehand and wanted to start,
Yeah.
he would have instantly had like 50 Hughes because even though this collection, so it's a book sale, people donate stuff and they just put out what they have.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some comics, but if there's, if there's 25,000 nonfiction books, there's 1,000 comics, right? So it's just what they have. But I like to go because who knows, you could have somebody donate a Silver Age collection just as easily as something from 5 years ago. But
I always thought that when I went to like library sales and book sales, they had the the coating on them, so they
no,
had
so
tape and a
these are
sticker on all the spines of
these
everything.
so these aren't from a library.
Right.
There is a giant women's there's a women's group here in State College that does they do all these charitable things throughout the year,
Hmm.
and they fund a lot of those by this book sale, and they're just donations.
Oh, that's
So
good.
people throughout the entire year will donate books. They have in excess of 300,000 books that they sell during this 5 day sale.
Seriously?
It's freaking crazy. Um,
And you
and it's in our ag arena here, and you have to essentially get in line at like 4:30 in the morning, or the previous night you can stick a cardboard box with your name outside in a big
get out of
line,
here.
and that holds your spot. You just have to be in line the next day by 6:30 or
So
something
it's
like.
just like a line of cardboard
But
boxes.
the funny thing is,
That's kind
it's
of cool.
very vague. So the website says like you may place a cardboard box the night before in late afternoon. So I'm a generally, even though Jimmy and I grew up as punk rock kids, I'm a general rule follower if I think the rules make sense. If the rules
Yeah.
don't make sense, I'm less of a rule follower. But I was like, okay, this seems fine.
That's
I have
like
to
a
work.
garage
I have to
sale.
work
It's like
anyway.
nobody
So
come
I
before 9, and
That's
everybody's
right.
like
Yeah.
at the end of the driveway at 8:30.
So at 5 o'clock, I went over there,
Yeah,
and at 5:15, and as I'm pulling up, I already see the quarter mile of boxes, and I'm like, mother of pearl, like it's
that's
late afternoon
great.
now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So then I text a friend. I was like, hey, did you get a spot? And he's like, oh yeah, I put my box out at like 9 o'clock this morning, and I was already like number 125 or whatever. So I ended up being number
Nobody followed the rules.
267 or something like
Were they
that.
there for comics or they were there for
No, so that's the
everything?
thing. Like, there are book dealers who come from
Mm.
multiple states away. Um, it's actually really funny
But
because
they're resellers.
correct, and you guys live close to the city. There's um, uh, booksellers like certain ethnic groups who have been booksellers for So there's like a pocket of Jewish booksellers from
Hmm.
Manhattan that are
Yep.
there in line. There's another pocket of individuals uh, that are probably from the DC area, and they've come up, and so but it's fun. And there was probably about 10 short boxes, and I didn't have great reception, but I'm just calling Jimmy because there must have been 60 or 70 Hughes covers out of just 10 short boxes. It was crazy. So I had to call him and be like, do you have these Fables books? And then he's like, yeah, it's Fables, right, Jim?
Hmm.
Jimmy had said he had all the Fables.
Oh, it was fairest.
Fair.
Fairest.
Yeah. Um, and then the Catwoman's, it was funny because a lot of books were in, direct run order, but the Catwoman's were sprinkled throughout. So the last Catwoman I found was actually the expensive one, the mugshot
Yeah.
book, and it was in really clean shape. So I bought all 25 books for $50. They were $2 a piece. I sold the Catwoman for 95. I got the first battle of uh, uh, Wolverine and Deadpool, and I sold that last night.
Yeah.
Um,
Did
for
you have
60.
the deluxe or the
It
regular?
was the deluxe, yeah.
Nice.
And I sold that for 60, which actually was pretty good price for this shape.
Yeah.
And then I got all three Zatanna Catwoman covers. I was really once I found those, I was really hoping I'd find the Zatanna books for Jim.
Those
Um,
are nice, man. Those Hughes Zatanna
um,
books are really nice.
but I sold the three Zatanna covers for 50 as well.
I like his Tomb Raider books too. His Lara Croft is hot.
I got three Tomb Raider books for
Did
Jimmy the
you?
other day at a
Yeah,
flea market.
they're nice.
But anyways, it was just a great, a great. Oh, I also got at that same sale, I got um, what else did I get? It's in this platform right here. Um, this was actually pretty cool. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew. So I got First Dakin, the B cover was
Yeah.
in there too. Uh, Now I didn't realize that this was worth much less than the cover with
The
his
claws.
claws, but I think this is actually a cooler cover.
It is a cool
Uh,
cover. But
so
there's
I got
also two different claw covers too. There's a bloody one and a non-bloody one.
yes, there's the three claw cover and the two
Yeah,
claw cover, and then I got this for my
that's cool.
Spider-Man run, which is a really cool book as well. And then I got this at a yard sale for a buck.
Nice.
It's
We're,
not
we're loving our
super
Scooby Doo's.
it's not super clean, but it's pretty nice.
They're still rare-ish enough.
And then I bought a couple lots on Marketplace. I bought a lot on Marketplace for one book in particular. So I got and it's already in the box that I'm sending to you guys too. But I got an upgrade on my Marvel Superheroes 20.
Yeah,
Um,
nice.
but that was $100 lot, and I would say the Marvel Superheroes 20 is probably going to be a seven.
You said six
Uh,
five seven.
yeah. But also got a ton of these hundred pagers in there, and they were
I mean, they're like $20 to $30 a piece in
yeah,
mid grade. Like they're
yeah.
they're collectible for sure.
They
Because
got
I remember I had a box of those like in my early years of trying to like just basically gather as many comics as I can so I could be a seller. But yeah, I got tons of those
yeah, and
100
these
page
ones were all in
giants.
really nice shape. This was in that lot. This is
Yeah, that's a good one too. The Ultron cover. I love that book.
these I think this one's the first appearance I think of this weird Shaggy Man.
That's when you see it's like first and only appearance.
No, I knew it wasn't the only because look what else I got in there.
No, no,
Another appearance
there
of
he
Shaggy Man.
there he is again. That looks
Uh,
like Andre the Giant as the Sasquatch in Bionic Man. That's exactly what it looks like. Is it
this
Bionic
one
Man
this
or
one
Six
is
Million
in
Dollar
Jimmy's
Man?
box if he wants to be in his box, but I know he's scaling down. But there's a
Yeah, that's a good
king,
cover too.
Full floor.
king size Thor. That's number 4.
Is that an
This is
ego? Is that an ego book? Because it
what's
says the
that?
Living Planet. I don't know ego in the king size special. Is that ego?
So this would be well. That's got to be Ego, right?
Probably. Cool.
Um, and then this is actually in pretty nice shape. This one's, I think it's the best book in the
That's
not
got to be one
brand
of the last ones.
not brand Eck. And then this book, on the fence, it's you could tell it would be a great Doom cover, but he's just side. This is like side boob. It's just side Doom right there.
Yeah,
You know.
that's like
Uh,
that Namor Doom book that I have, where Doom's like this, and his face is kind of like weird and rubbery.
Yeah. And then these three were in the lot too, but in like lesser shape, which is annoying because there's, you don't any
Are you,
15% or less ASM you want
yeah, are you
you
keeping
want
those for your run?
probably, even though it's not in great shape. I'm starting to pick up like a lot of these 80s and 90s, and none of them are in good shape, but
Yeah.
like, you know,
So they're like filler until
yeah, until I
you
might
just
find
upgrade
something
them. Yeah.
nicer. And then there was these two in there as well. But like for
Yeah.
$100, I think I can quadruple my money
Yeah.
easy because if the
If the special
if
comes back as 6.5,
if the special comes back
that's all your
it's
money right there.
a 6.5, it's about right now that's selling like between like 275, and then it gets a little bump if it comes back as 7. Um, but a friend of mine, um, a good friend of a colleague of mine, last week when I got back to my office, there was a little stack of comics in my office, and she's like an ornery older lady, and so she's like, I was at a yard sale over the weekend. This lady had a stack of books. I said, how much you want? She said, $20. I said, no way, I'll give you 5. And the lady said, fine. So as soon as she sticks them on my desk, I see that in this lot. Now, this is not in great condition, but
You
it
said it
is
does have the
complete.
centerfold. Yeah.
It's complete. It had 12 extra staples in the cover. I guess somebody was trying to keep the centerfold in place. Luckily, I could take all 12 extra staples out, and it actually has its original staples.
Hmm.
So the only thing attached was the centerfold.
It's
Um,
detached.
it's the centerfold's detached, yeah.
Hmm.
So the book's complete. The middle 7 pages are attached, but the centerfold was detached. Probably why they tried to use 12 staples to keep it in the book. And then it's got, I think it's grease pencil, but it's got like the little girl's name or something here
Oh,
on the
okay.
bottom. Um, but this is currently on eBay.
But even
Uh,
that comes back a 3 or a 4. Isn't it still a $500 book?
I don't, yeah, I think it would probably be like, I think it would be like a 2.5, but still, it's on eBay right now, and it's got 31 watchers already with 16 bids already and
Yeah.
3.5 days left. It's at $80.99. I think it'll probably end somewhere between 150 and
150 and
200.
200.
Yeah. But the cool thing was
Yeah,
there,
somebody could cannibalize it just for the centerfold to put it and marry it to theirs. I
sure.
mean, they'd know that it was married, but it just makes their a book complete, I think.
The the cool thing was there was other like great little books in the same lot. So these were
Yeah,
really
I love
nice. These
those, the
ghost stories
ghost
were really
stories.
nice. They're probably like um they're probably like 6.5 7s, and not expensive books, but I guarantee they'll be easy to sell at
Sure.
$15 a piece. Um some great Ripley's Believe It or Nots,
Those are tough.
skull covers
I've
too.
had so many of those. Ripley's are tough to
Oh,
move. You
these are
gotta
gonna be
move
like
them. You gotta move
these
them
will
in a
be
lot, just like
yeah,
Classics
these
Illustrated.
will be $5
Yeah,
books, $3 to $5 books, but they're in nice shape too.
yeah,
So if anybody likes to buy
yeah.
them just to upgrade,
Sure.
they'll probably be pretty easy to move.
I found that with the Twilight Zone stuff too. Like it's all kind of unless you do it in lots, it's tough.
And then a couple of Monkeys books that were complete,
That's
and
funny.
then
I didn't even
Dol-
know there were monkeys.
Dolph is getting you're getting Monkeys number 2, which would have been a great book, but
It's
looks like
hosed.
somebody had put most of a piece of packing tape on the cover and then pulled like this.
Yeah.
So it looked like it had gotten skinned. And then these were maybe the coolest thing, obviously, other than the poison ivy that were in the lot. Super, super random that these were in there. But 40s or early 50s Walt Disney comic stories. This one I might keep because I like the Halloween covers. But this is the first appearance of the Beagle Boys.
Is it really?
Is this? Yeah.
Can't go
So
wrong with that.
in this shape, it's regularly selling on eBay for about 50 to 75 bucks. Because I guess maybe they might be Carl Barks covers, but
Yeah.
it's this I might do the same thing, Dolph. Just have you press it, and I'll just
Just keep
display
it.
it.
Keep it
Yeah,
pressed. Yeah.
because I love the jack-o'-lantern.
It's cool.
And then there's a second one as well.
Are those 10 centers?
10 centers, yeah.
Yeah.
So these are both from 53. So um, and then um, the new comic store that's across the street from me
Oh
generally
yeah, how's that going? Are they
Yeah,
doing all right? You said they were a little high priced.
they're a lot of high price,
They're a lot of high priced.
but I
Yeah.
went over. I messaged Jim the other night. I have to, Jimbo. I actually I took the measurements. I got to send you the picture so I can hire you to do the graphics for my
Okay.
back window of my car. Um, uh, I do know that there are some comic collections walking into this dude's shop, so I need to start advertising that I'm buying locally, in as outward a way as possible. But he he's like several places I've gone to. Like stuff is really high, but then he misses stuff in his bins. So I got this really nice copy. This isn't Super 1. This is the special
No, I
edition.
know. That's the one Nick has. Nick has it in 9.6.
And I got this for $30.
Yeah, it's great.
So
And Nick
it's
spent 150 for his 9.6, maybe 200.
yeah, this one would be really high grade, but there is a tiny corner.
Like a color break crease.
Not really color breaking, but it's a cardstock cover, so
Yeah.
it's a crunch that's not going to come back. But I'll just sell it raw.
It might though. It's not on the spine. Those are easier to get out on the ends.
Yeah, maybe
The hard ones to remove are the spine ones because they're bent over,
right.
and they're usually like fortune cookies, where not only is it punched in, but it's punched around, so it's like they're tougher to get out.
Um,
We can give it a try if you want.
yeah, well, think about it. And then and then probably my best score out of all this stuff, it might be even better than a free
Poison ivy.
Poison Ivy was I got Clone Wars 1 for $2 at the flea market. And I actually got Clone Wars 1 through 7 for $2 a piece at the flea market. And during this in the same bins, I got this for $2. It's super nice. This book, which I just think is such a bad A cover, I got this for $2. Um,
That's
I
crazy.
got Yeah, it was crazy. I got this for $2. Yeah,
I don't know if
it
they're
was.
ever gonna do anything with Maestro, but I feel like they will one day.
I got another one of these still polybagged for $2.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I probably got $600 worth of books
Yeah.
for like $24. And then this
How's the
one,
Clone Wars?
it's gone already. I mean, I
No,
sold.
but how was it?
It was so
Mid?
the other ones were probably like 9.4, 9.6. Clone Wars 1 was probably like an 8.0, 8.0, 8.5. I sold the whole thing in a lot for 400.
That's
Um,
great.
yeah, super, obviously super great.
Turn $6 into 400.
Yeah,
It's a good day.
it was yeah 14, but yes, good day.
14 bucks?
It,
Yeah,
it
14
was
bucks,
really
400.
funny
Good day.
that eBay's fee was triple what I paid for the
That's
comics
funny.
coming off the top, and that
Yeah.
actually made my heart hurt for the guy I bought the comics for. That
Yeah.
eBay made 3 times the money. But same day I bought this from a different seller. And this one's on eBay right now. Bruce Timm cover.
Wow, that's really nice.
It is really cool. Little Shop of Horrors magazine.
Yeah,
Bruce Timm does 2 of the covers. Um,
that is cool.
this one is just a killer cover.
But
Yes, in more ways than one. I was surprised. I was just checking out to make sure everything was good. Way more boobs than I thought were going to be in this magazine.
Does it say for adults only?
No, it's kind of like a Scream Queen kind of a magazine. So like,
Huh.
there's
And there's
like
nudity in there by Bruce Timm?
no, not
Oh,
by
not nudity.
no actual boobs, black and white pictures of the screen. These
Gotcha.
70s and 80s.
So he just did the cover.
Yes, he just did the cover.
It's
Yep.
not like a story. It's more like
No.
I got you.
Nope, just did the cover.
Got you.
Um, And then just random stuff I also picked up for.
though Bruce Timm does have a naughty art book.
Yeah,
Does
that's
he
true.
really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
And then a bunch of stuff I picked up for $2, which I just That's a great McFarlane. This one
McFarlane,
is
yeah,
a
I like that
what
one.
they call that, Dolph, the Mendoza effect with the passes alive, where he doesn't think he's ever seen it before.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
the
I've
McFarlane
never seen
books,
that before.
I've I just don't
I
have you. Do you remember seeing this
I
cover,
don't
Jim?
recall ever seeing that cover before.
And yet it's in that run with the other ones we all know, like Hulk
The
in front of the
lizard, the
moon.
hobgoblin,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
all of those.
I've never
Um,
never seen that
there,
one.
got that one for $2. Second to last, She-Hulk for $2, and then some Sonics. Some
Sonic's there's some
Yeah.
hidden gems out there for Sonic.
Oh
I
my
wish I
gosh,
knew it
dude!
better.
If you see Sonics, just buy them if
Oh,
they're.
I have been. I actually bought one that was I had pressed for a Sonic collector. So
Okay.
I kind of just learned some of the stuff just by pressing his books and
You
submitting
got
his
something in the
books.
mail too, right, Chase?
Oh yeah,
Didn't something show up in the mail?
yes, I should grab it from my bedroom. So
I swear, you two.
so
Just
Jimmy,
one sets
Jimmy,
him up and the other one knocks him down.
Jimmy got me the Adi
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 Granov.
Granov Doom variant cover for the new
Oh, I
Doom
did see that. Yeah,
series. Yeah, so that's actually already in my Doom books.
nice.
And yeah, um, but yeah, so it's been kind of crazy. Like
Oh, I
and
did.
oh, and also on
Did I show you
Marketplace
guys that?
on
I
Marketplace on
did get a
Sunday.
9.4 on it. The
Yeah,
Filoni.
we didn't see that
No.
because you got that back when you got Chris and I's books back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That I'm so happy with it because there was a huge crease on this side down here. There was a crease right there, and I guess I got it out. But I'm so happy with a 9.4 on that.
Do you have my Star Trek at arm's length, or is that
Yeah.
downstairs?
No, I do.
Yeah, Jim, I should have waited to show your books, but then you could show your books when you get them. Did you determine whether or not you had all three of those Tomb Raiders?
Um, no, I don't have all three.
Okay.
Nope.
Do you have the really expensive one with the beach towel? You have that
What,
one,
where
right?
where she's laying down looking at the camera?
No, where she's standing up like this. Isn't she standing up?
Oh, from the side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, that one's like the mugshot. That's way more expensive than
Which I don't get why. Because I don't know if it's like one of his. It's definitely not his best Tomb Raider.
well, were those low print runs or
Yeah.
anything? Okay.
Yeah, this is Chris's Weird Science. It came back a 5.0.
Man, I really wish he had.
I know the Fazetta.
Yeah.
This one was great because the cover's detached. It came back a 2.5. I know we're both really happy about this. That's second Batwoman, I think, or first cover Batwoman. Oh, it'll say it on here. Second appearance of Batgirl. I'm sorry. First appearance of Clockmaster. Here's your peanuts. There's your 5.5
Oh,
for your peanuts.
that's gonna look so cool.
Yeah, it looks great.
Probably put that on my office on a stand.
And there's your 5.5 Star Trek.
Oh, I thought it was 5.0, so it's a 5.5.
5.5. Yeah,
Even
both of
better.
that's why I said both of yours are 5.5.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, we worked some magic on that one too. Definitely has some
Um,
stuff going on that's just like the color breaking spine ticks,
yeah.
and you're not getting rid of that.
I was
Yeah.
I got that
Chris
all in, I
actually
guess.
did knock on my door at 8. I had no idea. He just
Oh, really?
he texted me at 8 o'clock. He's like, "I'm outside in your driveway. Are you here?" And I didn't even see it.
Why did he just call you?
I don't know.
um I bought a lot on Marketplace on Monday, and I won't get them till tomorrow, but they were $100 shipped, and I got like 14 issues of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, including First White Tiger,
Nice.
and they look really nice too.
Yeah.
So
Problem is that they're mostly $2 books. except for like the five that have first appearances.
Well, so they're mostly like 10-ish, 10-ish
Mm.
dollars, but I got like four of those ones that you want to get in the lot.
Yeah, the guy
So
with the knife hands. I
yeah,
forgot their
yeah.
character
So I
names
got I
already.
got most of the ones you want to get in the
Yeah,
lot.
that's good.
And so they're just cool, and I'll probably, instead of selling those, I'll probably unless First White Tiger is like really nice, and I think which I don't think it's going to be really nice. I'll probably just I got a lot of feedback at the last con I did in person that people really like that I have a more variety than other people. Like I had all these magazines and books and
Hmm.
stuff like that, and so that actually brought a lot of people
Well,
to my
that was from
table.
that last buy that you
Yeah,
made with all those like trades and all
yeah,
those art books. Those that was a cool little lot.
yeah. And so I'm liking taking that kind of like interesting stuff to shows. Um,
Sure,
because it is a differentiator. Now, I don't want a ton of that stuff if it's not, higher value
it's hard to
because
move.
it's harder to move. It takes a specialty buyer and it takes up more room. Those boxes are bigger than standard
So I
short.
remember I had that lot where I had so much stuff from the Kubert school. Like I had their original comics, like their annual calendar, like a lot of like underground stuff, but it wasn't desirable. Plus, I had all those like it's like fanzines for Star Trek, like spec scripts and stuff like
Okay.
that, and it was so hard to move until one guy came along and bought it all.
Yeah.
So you're just waiting for that one guy, but like it just sat and sat and sat, and then some guy's like, "How much for the box?" I'm like, "All right, great."
Yeah, I moved a ton of that stuff at the show that I did, like sold lots of individual issues of Weirdo.
Yeah.
Actually uh sold to Minhunter like 14 or 15 issues of Weirdo.
When he went to the driveway sale or
No,
another
no,
time?
no, I had posted on
Oh,
Instagram
you reached out to him?
and he reached out to me and I guess he had a buyer that was interested in like night higher grade, and they were all really nice
Yeah.
because they were dead stock. So I might actually reach out to the lady who I bought all those from. She had some posters still new rolled. I just didn't know what to do with them, but now knowing that I could easily like just buy poster tubes and sell those on eBay, I might reach out to her. They were again dead stock from the business. She had quite a few of this. What's the guy? HR Geiger? Is
Giger?
that so he did a xenomorph, and it's like a kind of like a side view of a xenomorph,
Is it
and
Xenomorph or is it his Sill from Species? That's kind of how he started with that girl with the almost looks like a Tutankhamun with like tendrils coming out of her head, like that one.
no, it's an
It
alien.
is an
Yeah,
alien.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because this would have been from like 87 or something like that. And I
Yeah.
think she had
Okay.
like 25 copies of that. Um, get new.
Yeah. And
At
what's
the time,
aliens?
I was a
Aliens
little overwhelmed by the
79.
books, so I was like, all right, but I might reach out to her because I think those would be relatively easy to move, especially if
Very
I have
easy.
multiple copies.
Plus, this is
And
like one of those things where you never know. Open the inside cover, and there you go. It's signed or something. Like those are the kinds of things where you're like, oh, they're like that. Like I was telling Jimmy, that guy at the flea market who had like 15 copies of Nightfall signed by Bob Kane.
oh wow,
I mean, I bought two of them, and I told him I was like, he's like, I'll let you have them for $5 a piece, but tell me a little bit about them. I said, you could probably get 50 to $100 a piece for these, because Bob Kane's dead, and he's the guy who created Batman with Finger. So
right?
I was like, you got a lot of Bob Kane signed stuff here. That stuff's you're not making it anymore.
So yeah. So anyways, it's
Yeah,
been
yeah, you've been doing good.
hustling,
Yep.
and hopefully I hear back from this gentleman that reached out about. So there's this gentleman who reached out. He's retired faculty. He's got his book from the 50s, which he said were in poor condition. I don't know what that means. One man's poor condition is another man's mid-grade. Went to a novice, right? I've had a lot of people who don't collect comics and say they're in pretty bad shape, and I get them and they're like mid-grade, but other people think because there's some creases that they're in
Yeah.
bad shape.
Bad shape to me means they're coverless.
Right.
Or
And so,
ripped covers, or
right.
like my childhood collection are just I read them to death. Like they're like in pieces.
So the interesting thing is he said he's got his books from the 50s that are in poor condition
Mm.
and his son's books from the 70s which are in mint
Oh
condition.
yeah, we did talk about this.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And so
Yeah.
I reached back out because I hadn't heard from him for about a month. Reached back out over the weekend. He wrote me right back and said that his son was actually coming into town earlier this week, and
Yeah.
that they were going to look at the comics and send me a list. So who knows? Might not happen, but it'd be even if I just get an opportunity to look at them. I think like it's kind of like turning stones over, just see what you see kind of thing.
Sure.
So, anywho, that's like my. There's like way more books and stuff, but they're nothing to write home about.
What the hell? Oh, they are in a rain delay.
Um, but I'm doing a con in the Wellsboro con in August, and so depending on when you think you're going to send uh, pre 70s books in again, Dolph would determine whether or not I had an outside shot at getting them back by August.
I
August.
have
But I guess right now it's already pretty tight because we're already within a month and a well, no, we're 2.5 months out right
plenty of
now.
time. If I got on them soon, I have a bunch of pressing to do for Jeff.
Yeah,
That's the
you're
only
way
thing
too
is,
far
like,
away from
Jeff always takes precedence because he's paying for him.
Sure, you're too far away from your mic, bro.
Oh. Ugh,
Yeah.
I always do that. Yeah, because Jeff's paying, so
Sure. No, and I
I put him into the front of the line.
I completely understand
The
that.
thing is, like, it gives me 15 books. I do them, I drop them off. He gives me 15 books right back again. It's like,
right.
he gave me 15 more John Wayne Gacy books.
Did he buy a warehouse find of these
His
things?
brother got like 100 of them. He
How was
bought them
there
from the publisher, and apparently he's been moving them for $100, no problem. So he got them for nothing.
He's moving them $100 raw.
Yeah, they don't grade stuff.
It's weird.
He never grades stuff. He's got maybe 2 books on his wall that are graded, and he just bought an ECC, like a Crypt Keeper book that's in really bad condition, but it's still like $300-400. And I forgot his other graded book, but he's got two slabs. That's it. The rest of it's all raw.
Crazy.
He doesn't do it. He doesn't bother. Rick
Well, that
doesn't
was
either.
I guess that was the other thing that happened in our hiatus. I got to look at a friend's uh, pre-code horror
Yeah.
short box, which was insane. Just crazy.
You said they were nice too, right?
Yeah, like probably all mid, like we're talking like 4.5 to 6.5, most of them, which is just crazy. And the funniest thing was,
It's so
uh,
desirable right now.
well, the funniest thing is he bought them about 20 years ago at an auction, and he said to me, he's like, I paid up for them. I paid 2 grand for that box, and I was like, well, depending on what happened there. And
Yeah.
so I'm not versed enough to know everything about it. I just know like I know some titles are going to jump out, like crime suspense stories and stuff like that. So we photographed 35 of the 147 books that were in there. Now, one of the ones we didn't photograph, I knew because I've been looking into Ditko, just how many books did Ditko do?
Yeah.
I thought like I really wouldn't be able to tackle that as a collection because he did the first freaking 38 Spider-Mans for God's sakes. But
Oh yeah. No.
it'd be fun as like, a Pennsylvania guy who's not that far, grew up not that far away to kind of get some Ditko books. Well, he had one of the pre-code horror Ditko books that I recognized right away. And that one I looked up it's probably about $3,500. in the condition it was in. But so we looked at these 30, I looked at these 35 books, right? And it's in this um the building, there was no reception because it's like a tin building and the weather was freaking garbage
Mm-hmm.
outside, like
Yeah.
complete cloud cover pouring. So he said, "Why don't you just take some pictures and then maybe you can find some information out and let me know." And so I took these pictures, these 35 pictures, and you guys know that I get pretty eager, so I ran out to my car and just started looking them all up on Cover Price. And he had the very last Tales from the Crypt. I think it's the last one,
Last
which is
issue?
like the werewolf that's sideways like
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
um, and stuff like that. Good books. Like most of the books, I don't think I found a single book that would be like less than 250 bucks. Like not a single one out of the 35. And then I popped that werewolf book's probably like an $800 book in the condition it was in. And there was another book that was like maybe 1,100 bucks. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Well, the last book of the 35 that I look up is oh my goodness, I can't remember what it is. I can't remember the title, but Raw in a range, which I think this definitely fell in that range. Raw 7 to 10 grand, and graded like 12 to 16.
Really?
Yeah,
And he doesn't
and
want to slab him?
well, so I was at my car, so I went back. I go back in, so I'm estimating the 35 I looked at
Probably
were
like
probably worth
20
like
grand.
30, probably around 30 grand. So what is this short box worth? Like, and I didn't
That's
have
only
any
a third of
idea.
it.
I didn't have any idea that this one was like a seven, like a, potentially like a $15,000 book.
Why?
So, huh?
Why? Do you remember
Why didn't
why?
I, did
No,
I not
why
know it?
was it worth 12 grand? What was it?
Oh, let me
I
see.
know you don't remember the title, but
Well,
like,
no, I have the
did
picture,
it
so
have a first appearance or?
I can tell you exactly what it was. So, it's like one of those classic pre-code horrors that ends up being valuable because it's got this is what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Weird Weird Mysteries 4. So,
That's some foresight, man. That's a good buy.
yeah, so yeah, so anywho, like
We're losing Jimmy.
Oh, sorry. I was tired at like 4 o'clock this afternoon.
It's all right, man.
I don't know what's going to happen to me tonight. Our little one has been waking up in the middle of the night and sleeping with us,
ugh.
and it's playing
Is she,
havoc.
is she still when she's sleeping, or is she rolling around?
No, she's a tornado. My kid.
Well, her hair in almost every picture looks as though a tornado has struck. But I mean, I have been with my niece, and she sticks her head down and kind of burrows into you, so I can see why her hair is always disheveled.
And then I went back to the rooms. I just put the air conditioners in the back 3 rooms, so now back there is like super comfortable.
Yeah.
So then I was putting down Emery, and I was like, this is nice,
Yeah, you're fading.
nice and cool. And I'm like, and then I was like, all right, baby girl, I gotta go, I gotta hop on. And I came out here, and it's like hot and muggy out here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
uh, uh, uh.
Yes, yesterday,
I was
yes,
gonna watch the second episode of Acolyte before I go to bed, but I think I'm going
You ain't making it.
straight to the back.
yesterday it was pouring here, and I was waiting for the caterer to come for our evening event, and it was somehow still humid. I was like, it is pouring and it's still humid. I didn't even know that was possible.
Well,
Yeah.
it's disgusting right
It
now.
was so humid today. My steering wheel just felt sticky. It was so gross. I hated it.
Um, so
But yeah.
Jim, there's oh, I didn't bring it in. So uh we found Griff and I were at Ollie's the other day, and we got you a book for you and Amanda to look at for the girls. It's probably a little it's definitely way too early for Ray, but Am will probably do it with you. So it's essentially Where's Waldo, but it's Where's Wookie. and there's a different Star Wars scene on every page,
That's
and
cool.
you're looking for different characters. The Wookiee page is particularly difficult because it is a sea of brown, muted brown, and the grayish brown that Wookiees
Emery
have.
really enjoys finding things.
So that's coming. I put the dinosaur puzzles in there. There's some flashcards that aren't for right now, but you can do with her probably like in a year or so, fall with her alphabet and stuff like that. And then your books are in there, and then Dolph's button books, and then the practice book. Dolph, aren't you a big Thing fan?
The movie thing
No,
or Thing the Rock thing? Yeah,
the character
I
thing.
love him. Yeah,
So
yeah,
the book that I sent you, that's the complete book, but is water damaged, is
yeah.
FF 78, which is like when Ben Grimm. It's got a kind of a classic Kirby
Is
cover.
that the green? It's green with the thing you looking at his back. That one?
Uh,
Yeah,
you'd have to look it up. It's got a kind of classic Kirby cover of Ben Grimm's face like this with a very Kirby-like flat nose,
what
and
number?
then 78. That's the
I
book
know
that's
him. I'll know it. I'm sure I'll know it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's
so
a good cover.
that's the book. Yeah.
Cool.
So if you can improve it at all, it's cool. Did you try your heavy metals yet?
No, no. Jeff is just keeping me busy, so I haven't been able to. It's like being a contractor working on your own home. Like I never get to do my own stuff. I have so many of my own books that I need to like submit, but I just haven't gotten to anything.
And you haven't really sent in any of your older books for a year or more.
These two clones are the first books that in the Scooby Doo, the first books I've sent in years.
Because the last books that you sent in was that big grouping that you sent in
Yep, the
when we
one with the
sent my
first,
first books in,
yeah, the
when
first Guy
your
Gardner, that Marvel Spotlight 5,
you got your
like that
Spotlight
was my
5.
last big batch.
Yep. You sent your first Doom in that batch too, didn't you?
My first Doom?
No.
No. My first Doom, I sent in that a long time ago, almost
Okay.
right after I bought it. I knew I was gonna get a point .5 though because it was missing the advertisement for Hulk 1.
Um,
It's all right.
but
I did make a big purchase though. I am getting, it's gonna be 8 weeks, but I am getting that Star Wars case.
you bought the Star Wars case?
I bought it, yeah. So, but I bought the other version of it. So the one that I showed you guys was just the 94 Star Wars figures in order.
Uh-huh.
The one that I ended up buying because it's vertical is all the 94, the first 94 Star Wars figures, and then there's a spot for Jabba, the Max Rebo band, a Tauntaun,
Oh, that's cool.
so all the bigger guys, and that, what's that Doob thing, the big
Dewback.
lizard? Dewback.
Back. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a spot for all of those figures on the bottom. So I have to, those I don't have. I just want to see where I stand with my childhood collection. I don't think I want to upgrade those. I think I want to keep my childhood collection in
For
there.
sure. And the other things you can get you can get a nice dewback like
Yeah,
with still good color for like 20, 25
yeah.
bucks.
Same with a
You can get
Jabba. I don't want it in the box, so it's like
you
just a
can get
loose
a
Jabba.
good tauntaun for
Yeah,
$20, maybe
$20.
15,
Yeah,
$20.
those are the ones I'm worried about. The ones I'm worried about are those damn Power of the Force figures. I looked like the Han and Carbonite's $400. I have, thank God I have a Mana Man because he goes for like 700 loose, and Yak Face is just crazy money. It's like 900 bucks without even his stuff, like no gun, no nothing. Like Yak Face is, it's the last one. It's insane how expensive that figure is.
I went to my friend's yard sale last week, and you and Jimmy would have loved. So I had he's bought lots of comics for me. We became friends because he was a customer, and so he was having a yard sale, and I was like, I'm definitely coming to your yard sale. Like you've been to all my
Yeah,
comic
yeah,
yard
yeah.
sales, and it was great because he had a bunch of $2 boxes, and I was able to pick up like 6 issues of ASM in my 200 to 400 that I needed. And I got that McFarlane, the Mendoza McFarlane that we just looked at. But he's like, hey, if you have time, come down and check out my toy room. And he recently got a Kitty City rolling display
Yeah,
that he's, sorry, no, Toys R Us rolling display that he's got like decked out with stuff.
that's
But
cool.
uh, and he has like great vintage stuff. But right in the middle of the room because it's so damn big, he had the HasLab Jabba's sail barge
Oh yeah, that thing's cool.
still in
I
its
wish I
box.
knew about that before.
It's like this
Yeah,
big.
it's huge.
And the funny thing is, my 10-year-old talks about this stupid thing at least once a week. And I've never, I would have never thought like that anybody had it. And then he has it. And then I have to tell Griff, hey, babe, guess what I saw today? I saw HasLab's
Yeah.
sail barge.
What do they
And
go
like,
for?
so
Seven,
my
eight?
friend bought it when it was when HasLabs
Yeah,
did
I
the
remember. I
thing.
think it was like for
It
the
was 400,
400.
I
I
think
think it
he
was
said
400.
449, but I guess they're selling for like 2 G's now. Like, um,
But
and
some
it,
good
it
some good ones didn't even get didn't get funded. Like
so they never
The
funded the
Rancor never got
Rancor.
funded. Like that one was cool. I can't believe
They
that one
never
didn't get
funded the
funded.
Rancor. Griffin laments this at least once a month, where
Yeah,
he,
there's a
you know,
prototype out there somewhere.
like a 90-year-old man, he sits there and just says, you know, I can't believe they didn't fund the Rancor. Like
It's funny.
like so he's ridiculous,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just really cool. He had all his vintage Godzillas and stuff like that, his 70s Godzillas. Funny enough, he had all his Star Wars glasses displayed. And the first series, I had actually never even seen those glasses. I don't know if Burger King issued them or whatever, but for A New Hope,
I
I'd never.
remember the Marvel ones, like the Hanna Barbera cups. I had a lot of those. The glasses. I never had original Star Wars glasses.
They're so
It was
cool.
always Marvel, DC, and Hanna Barbera were the ones that I did have.
Yeah, I mean, they're so cool. Well, so anyways, he's like, "Oh, the only thing I'm missing is the Jabba glass from Return of the Jedi." I was like, "That's the only one I have." I
Ah,
bought that
funny.
I bought that because Griff loved the Jabba,
That's
and it
funny.
was it was like pristine, and we got it for like $7. We use it as a drinking
Yeah, I
glass.
use mine too. I have
Yeah,
like a Batman one. I have a Deathstroke one. Like,
yeah. We use all ours. My
yeah,
friend
I
got me a
just
really.
accidentally put one in the dishwasher because I didn't
Mm,
know, and like the
yeah,
Batman is like half peeled off. I'm like,
yeah. The
ah.
enamel, the enamel, like
Yeah, it was stupid. I made it's like the first time I washed it and made a mistake.
that's what happened to Jim and I's um uh Garfield glasses, our Garfield glasses.
I
I actually
remember
see those
those.
all the time, and I want to buy them just out of nostalgia and only drink orange juice. I think we only ever drank orange juice out of those glasses, right, Jim?
Probably.
But we didn't have a dishwasher for the longest time, so Mom must have stuck it in the
Yeah.
dishwasher like, as soon as we got a dishwasher, and it like Garfield it's just muted. It went from that bright green to like a dull mint color.
Yeah. I remember I see a lot of the old little Smurfs that I used to have when I
Oh
was a
yeah.
kid. I'm starting to see like huge lots of those pop up, and I'm like, for nostalgia, I don't have room for it.
I
Otherwise, I
would
would
collect
totally.
Muscle Men
I come across bags of those too
if
all
I
the
could get back
time.
into it.
They have
Muscles are
crazy resale value.
They really do. There's a lot of people that love muscle guys.
And then they started making those different colored ones later
Yeah.
on. They
Yep.
were either yeah.
Purple or
I
green or
always remember too, like just when you thought you've seen them all, you see another one. You're like, oh my god, I've never seen that one. That's so cool. Like,
there's like 40 iterations of a samurai muscle
yeah,
man.
I remember those. I wonder like if there's like a check, like an actual checklist for all
Oh,
of them. Like, I mean,
there's
I'm sure
got
there is, but I'd like to see all the versions, like all the different figures. That place that I bought the Star Wars display case for also makes one for all the original GI Joes, all the original Masters of the Universe, Like, what else do they do? Masters of the Universe,
Turtles? Do they do
Turtles. Yeah, they do one for Turtles. Just the originals, like the first first
Yeah.
32 or the first 16. Like, Masters of the Universe was like the first like 18 or something like that.
So where are you going to put that? Behind you on the other
I
wall
think
there?
I'm either gonna put it right on the other side of this case, so you'll see it there or there, like where
Yeah.
you can see it when I'm doing this. I don't know if I want it if I want it in the videos or there if I want it in the chat. You know what I mean? Like it won't.
So
I could also honestly put it right out in my living room when I'm done with that room. I got
much
plenty.
room? How much room is next to your sports card case to the wall? Because the way.
It's only 2.5 feet wide,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
there's
Holy crap! On
There's
Ets on there are 60 Muscle Man figures that are selling right now for $210.
really.
With bids, Jim?
No, it's just straight up.
Oh.
But man, I just off the looking at it, I know that we had tons of
Oh,
these.
I had so many of those muscle guys. I love them too.
I mean, how many did we accidentally melt and crap? You know, like
The only thing that stunk about them was that they were just pink. Like there wasn't much to them. Like the figures
Bubblegum
were
pink.
cool, but yeah, they were just bubblegum pink.
They made the orange ones, they made gold ones, they
Later,
made
yeah, they made
turquoise,
blue.
light blue, neon green, red, and purple.
so Dolph, do you ever watch that? Do you ever watch Toy Federation, like the Toy Federation videos on
I love their
YouTube?
videos. You should watch
They're-
Froggy Flips too. Froggy Flips loves
Oh,
vintage
I watch
toys.
Froggy Flips too. Yeah,
Love Froggy Flips.
but the Toy Federation guys, one of their
Yeah.
videos, um, uh, they had gotten somebody had sent it to them, and it was like unauthorized or whatever, but it was the complete Thundercat checklist, I guess. And so you're
Oh.
talking about, and it's a book. I mean, it's got all this
Yeah.
really cool information about knockoffs and stuff like that.
I
And they were saying,
I never had a single Thundercat figure ever.
did we ever have a Thundercat, Jim?
I never had Thundercats,
I don't feel like we did.
Um,
and
I
it
feel like
wasn't
Ha-
because
I
of
feel
the
like Hazard had Thundercats, but I don't feel like we had any Thundercats.
Yeah,
Or
I
maybe
was mostly
Frank.
Masters of the Universe. I had a lot of those, and I had a lot of Transformers. I love Transformers. And
I
then
mean, I know we watched Thundercats, but I
I
can't
literally
remember.
thanked my dad today because I said if it wasn't for you being such a huge Star Wars fan, I wouldn't have the Star Wars collection I do. You loved it. You loved giving it to me as much as I loved getting it. Like
Yeah.
he was such a fan of the toys too. Like he loves Star Wars as much as I love Star Wars. So he was so thrilled to give me all the sets and the Dagobah and the Ewok village, and he bought everything for me. So
See, I can't.
oh my
remember.
God, Dolph,
yeah,
there is a complete visual archive and guide to muscle figures.
was it really?
It is literally
I don't know,
called
man. I'm not spending
it's called the
$200.
University of Muscle.
Really?
University of Muscle.
I wonder how you would display that. Probably they make a case for that somewhere.
And then there's a Nathan's Muscle that literally has their names. And there's literally a visual checklist of all of them.
That's cool. I wonder if the color ones were just reissues in just colors. Or are they new figures? They really got innovative though. I remember one was like a thumb and like one was, they were just weird.
Yeah. Jim, what is that? A published book? Oh, look at that. That's hilarious.
Oh, that's cool. That's a poster?
Yeah. I guess that's the original pink ones.
How many rows across is that,
Oh
Jim?
my gosh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 across. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, I
5,
remember
6,
this. There's
7,
one
8,
that's
9,
just like
10,
the
11,
Arc de
12, 13,
Triomphe.
14,
One's
15,
like an
16,
upside down like
17.
pyramid.
So there's 13 across, 17 high. So it's 17 times 13.
17 times 10 is 170 plus 51, so
This
we're at
guy's selling
221.
175 of them for $700. Wow.
What?
This
And
guy-
then
this
and
guy's
then on
just
top
got,
of
like,
that,
12
Jace,
for
you have
90.
to add 12.
So 221, 233.
But then you got this guy who's selling five pack lots for $10. So $10 for five. I mean, $2 a piece doesn't seem bad, but when you
So
talk
it's
about,
literally a poster, and it says,
oh my
"Can you
god,
collect them all?
I
Fill in the
remember
star
this
as you
guy.
collect each one."
Oh my god, I remember all of these guys. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was a 23 by 35 collector poster.
That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Complete set, $580. Oh, almost complete. He's missing like five.
He's missing the expensive one stuff.
He's missing the expensive ones.
So what are the big
I remember the hand, the green hand. I remember that one.
I remember us trading them, Jay, with Aaron and Bob
Oh,
and
I remember
Frankie.
trading them too, definitely, because you bought them in packs. So, like, if you got five and you didn't need two of them, you'd trade them to somebody else who did.
So a lot of 100 today, so a lot of 66 sold today for $100 plus $6.23 shipping.
Oh my
A
god.
lot of two sold for $8 plus 411 shipping. A lot of five that are, it says Jap Japanese Batman Eraser Kaiju. Those sold for $25 for just five. Yeah, the prices are kind of all over the place. Generally speaking, you're definitely going to get more than $1 per muscle.
I
That
feel
is for
like I
sure.
feel like honestly, I've never really looked hard, but I guarantee you could find tons of these at the flea market, wouldn't you?
I
I
mean,
would
I
Like
think
in
haven't,
a
so.
in a box of tchotchkes.
I haven't seen them.
I haven't
Um,
either. Honestly, I haven't either. Not that I've been looking, but I would have noticed if, like, I can grab them like for $1 a piece. But yeah, no, I haven't really noticed.
Jim, that poster sold for $130.
That's cool.
I guess that's from 1985.
That poster's like an original poster.
Yeah, so this sold
Millions
yesterday.
of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere.
Yeah,
That's what it stood for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So this sold yesterday. The poster sold yesterday on eBay for $130.
Because you got the poster free if you sent in. Uh, so let me see
Oh,
where did I?
like a proof of purchase kind of deal.
Oh my God, you guys. Yesterday, a 1985 sealed Muscleman 10-pack trash can. So you got 10 in what looked like a little trash can. To us, it would look more like a freaking uh, Annie Ann's cup that they stick the.
Yeah,
It sold for $220 for a sealed trash can. That is crazy.
Yeah, so you would get the poster free by mail-in with purchase of any two muscle 4 packs.
I see
You
the
would just have to
puzzle.
send the UPC code.
See, Jim, the funny thing is, we must have gotten these new, but I don't remember. I don't remember that. Do you remember buying
I
them
remember those.
in
I
those
remember the
packs like
bags
that?
too. I also
Yeah, I
remember
sort
I
of
remember
remember
the
that.
trash can, and I remember the box with the wrestling ring. I remember
Well,
that
right.
too.
Yeah, they had those Dolph. One was called the Cosmic Crunchers set.
Yeah.
One was called the Thug Buster set. It's interesting, Jim. I remember some of these
A
individual.
few figures have stirred up some controversy amongst muscle heads. That's the collectors of muscles.
I definitely remember Jimmy and I having at least one, if not two, of the guy that looked like a bridge abutment or
Yeah.
like
So
a.
this guy is super rare. The Black Hole Sunshine.
Well, obviously that's what the Soundgarden song's based on. Black Hole Sun, shine.
The next most common of the super rares.
But do you count the colored ones? Like, they're not on the poster, so they're not the
They're not on the
originals.
poster. They're not the originals.
So
Yeah, they must
I
have
wouldn't
been.
collect the colored ones. I'd just go after
They must have been from later versions or later issues or something. Dude, if you ever see that poster, buy it. I mean, it sold
Yeah,
with a bunch of creases on it for $85 a couple days ago.
kind of cool. I don't.
Here's another super rare, Dr. Bombay.
Wow, I don't remember that one.
Wonder what made them super rare. See, Jim, I felt like we bought ours out of freaking gumball
Gumball
machine.
machines. That's how I. Yeah, I remember that too.
Like you got one or two.
Okay, well, we definitely had this one.
I definitely
Oh
had
yeah.
that one. I've noticed that a few times. I definitely had the
He's
mini
super
one with
rare.
guide. Maybe I had a different version of it. There's that lizard man that I remember having him.
Oh, this one literally had a detachable head.
Oh, no, I didn't have that.
See, ours head did not pop off.
No. And that first
Jim,
guy I showed you guys,
Jim, look,
that little piece that was sticking off the side, you take that off and it goes into the hole in the middle of them.
Jim,
Oh,
that one, this is the one I was just talking about. That looked like a
Oh yeah.
bridge.
I
We
had
had
that one.
multiples of this. This guy
Definitely
sold
had
by
that one.
himself for $15 plus 350 shipping just the other day.
I didn't even know. I'm looking in the sold ones. There's 2-inch versions of them too. They made them bigger. So how many? Let's see. The poster.
Oh, Jim, we
One, two,
definitely
three,
had the
four,
claw.
five, six,
The
seven,
we
eight,
had the claw flesh.
13.
Oh
Remember
yeah, yeah, yeah. That guy, yeah.
that one? It doesn't say what offer was accepted, but the asking price was $24 for that.
All
Jim,
right.
didn't you sell a little lot of these when you sold the
Yeah.
G.I. Joes and stuff? Jim, I bet you Hazard still has his muscle man.
233 figures in the original. That's a lot.
That's what Jimmy and I just calculated. 233.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
Jim, the
Oh, all I had to do was zoom in on the poster. The last one says 233.
uh, Jimmy counted the rows, and then I did the
Yeah,
math,
that's what
and
I
then
did. Yeah, I just did the math. That's so crazy.
man, if you guys find any of those trash cans sealed at the flea market, I would pull the
I'll
trigger.
definitely start keeping my eyes out for Musclemen now. That's for sure.
250 and 220 were the last two trash cans that sold on eBay.
We officially lost all of our viewers. I think Richard
when,
might be around, but I don't know. I think
when
everybody
we,
went to
when we
sleep.
went into when we
Yeah.
took a deep dive into Muscle Men
We went
We
into
category,
went to
muscle
muscle
man.
territory.
Everybody's like, I'm bouncing. So yeah.
which is interesting because you know the toy channels are the ones that get the most views.
I know. They really do. They do well. All right, I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Well, this was fun.
It was good chatting
Jumping
again.
back on.
Definitely. We haven't done this in a while. Richard's
So
still
yeah,
here.
Dolph, just
Richard's the only
let me
one.
know like so you are Jimmy already dropped off, so you have my FF48, my FF49,
Yeah,
my
I got it.
Anthem.
I got all of it. Yep.
You got all those,
hmm
and then I'll send you this one to add to. Well, I'm sending you the Superheroes 20 to add to that bunch, and then I'll just keep whichever Superheroes 20 is better.
Yeah. Richard, sometime this weekend, I'm going to bring all of your empty totes into my storage locker, so you're welcome to just go there and grab them whenever you want. I have so many. They're all yours. So I'll just put them right in the middle so you can tell which ones are yours. I'll just there's got to be at least 12.
And Jimbo, I've got to pick the dates, but I think Mom and I are going to take the kids into the city, into Manhattan. So what we're planning on doing is maybe coming and getting a hotel near you guys for a night or 2 nights, so we can see you guys, and then go in the city just for one of the days.
Okay.
Um, I'll just need, whether you can go with us or not, I don't know, but that's why we plan it in advance. But just the trains and stuff like that. I don't know because the kids have never been to Manhattan if we should just do very touristy stuff like see Times, Square and stuff like that. Or if we do want to do something like do the Statue of Liberty ferry. I've never even done the ferry around the Statue of Liberty. I've never been.
It's hard to do.
I
I
did
don't know
it
if you would
too.
attest to that, Dolph. It's hard to do like multiple
Oh,
things.
I know it's hard to do multiple.
Um,
Oh,
so
what?
if you want to see Manhattan, that's a day. Like
Yeah.
just if you want to just go around the comic book stores that we went to, that was almost a whole day, and that was just
Well, a
four or
lot of
five.
them were right around Bryant Park too, so we didn't really have to. We didn't have to
Yeah.
cab it. We were walking most of it.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I am.
So like mom always says, "Well, I want to go to the Central Park Zoo or I want to go to the Bronx Zoo." Like
That's a day.
that's a day.
Bronx
Yeah,
Zoo. Bronx Zoo's a day, and it's hard to park.
Yeah.
Bronx Zoo's cool though. Their gorilla. They're known for their gorilla exhibit. It's amazing.
Yeah, we would take this trains in from Jim's office. What we would do, so we wouldn't have to drive.
Yeah. I always was partial to Philly Zoo. It's smaller, but
It's America's first zoo.
yeah. I actually like Turtleback's my favorite. But it's
You
a
like
little
what?
Turtleback Zoo is my favorite. It's just easier. Everything's easier.
Turtleback Zoo? Is that near
It's
you guys?
it's in West Orange or East Orange.
Okay.
It's a good zoo, great for little kids. It's really good for little kids because they got a petting zoo and they got like an area where you like walk in an aviary with a popsicle stick with peanut butter on it, and the
Yeah.
birds are just landing on you, and it's kind of cool. Where like you go to Bronx Zoo, they have that big butterfly exhibit, which is really cool. You just walk in, you're just butterflies everywhere. It's really wild. But
Yeah, so
they're mountain
we'll have to
gorillas.
look at it, Jim, and just figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, what you want to do.
But that's what I was saying to mom. Like we'd have to have a very specific thing because, um, you know, I'm trying to remember when we did our school trips. So we'd go to Times Square.
No, I know that your kids love Barnes and Noble, right?
Yeah.
Well, the largest Barnes and Noble in the world is down the street from where I went to school.
Is that what you
Like,
want to do though? You want to go to New York
no,
City
I
and
mean,
go to Barnes and
I'm
Noble?
just saying, like, it's just there's also Forbidden Planet is a block and a half from the Barnes and
When
Noble,
we
so
used to
it's
go,
like,
when it was still open, when people still bought record stores and there were still malls,
Yeah.
I loved going to Tower when we went because it
Tower
was
was
like
different though, because that was
like a city.
yeah, it's like a city.
The escalators going like you could look down and you see like the
Yeah.
different levels of the
well,
stores.
there's four floors of the Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, that's what Tower was like, right? It was like
Yeah.
The
like
one on South Street.
well, no, the one that was in Manhattan. Jim.
Yeah, right in the
Oh,
it was
yeah.
by Times
Where's-
Square.
Oh,
It was
that's
like
right. I did get to go to that with Bob.
World Music was on like the first floor.
Yeah.
You just worked their way up and
I've been
stuff like
telling because I work with a girl who loves pens as much as I do. I keep telling her to go to that Japanese store that
Yeah,
we went to. It was
that store
so
was
cool. I
rad.
was like, go downstairs, you'll have a field day. I was
Did
like,
we?
all those.
Oh, we intended to go there, right? Because we were
Yeah,
looking
that
at
Yeah.
was Jimmy wanted to go there. I
Yeah.
even took a picture of a bunch of books that they had that were a lot of like Japanese art, Japanese
Yeah.
anime, and the pens were amazing. I love that store. And then the two comic book stores are literally 2 blocks away. They were right around the corner from each other. But you wouldn't take the kids to do that anyway.
No, and I mean, I think we were disappointed by the comic book stores in general, just because
Yeah.
like
Generally, yeah.
you
But
know
then
they
again,
just
that's kind of what happens when you go to stores. Like, you're not really getting deals at stores.
well, right, but I mean like they just did the back issues were like really underwhelming and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah, none of them really had, except for what was it? Forbidden Planet was where I got the TMNT 2. Otherwise, there really weren't
was-
any back issues.
No, it was a mid. That was mid.
Oh, that was
Midtown.
Midtown.
Yeah.
Midtown.
Yeah, you're right.
But even Midtown, like their back issues upstairs,
Midtown
really-
really never.
Midtown was very disappointing for me.
yeah, we're like kind
Yeah.
of disheveled and not like super nice, and
No.
like my back issues look way cleaner and are
Yeah.
better organized than their back issues. So, but
No, we didn't get to go to Forbidden Planet because we didn't go that far down.
Yeah.
yeah, so like that's the thing, Jim. Like, would we take them to a museum? Like,
Yeah.
would we
Have they ever seen the American History Museum?
Well, they've never been to Manhattan, so they've
Oh,
never been
well,
to
you
New York.
gotta see the whale.
So,
I mean, that thing's cool.
So that's something that I want to try and figure out, like, what
Plus, you
route.
should look and see if MoMA's got anything cool happening. Like
Yeah.
sometimes they have some really cool. I mean, it's modern art, but something like they had the Tim Burton thing that I went to with Tammy. That was so much fun. But they have these really cool exhibits sometimes where, I mean, they're interactive, they're
Yeah.
fun. But just
And then
look at the calendar.
The
and my
Natural History Museum, Jace, if we spent an entire day there, we could probably see 75% of that museum,
yeah.
maybe.
And
It's
then
so
and then
big.
You don't
my
have to
friend.
see all of it too. Like the Native American stuff and like the Eskimo stuff is not really as cool as like the Egyptian stuff and the dinosaurs and like the
I
whale.
spent 4 hours
Obviously,
just in the
Egypt.
space area.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then my friend Tristan from work and I want to come out and go with you guys to Frazetta Museum this summer.
Yeah,
But
we'll
we
do
were
that.
looking at probably about like trying to take a day off, either doing like a Monday or a Friday to come out and do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because if I could coordinate it far enough in advance, and you both could drive down together, because it's only about, I think it's about an hour and 15 minutes from you guys, and it's about 2.5 hours for us.
It's kind of mid. Little mid.
What's that?
It's kind of mid.
Well,
An hour for us, two and a
it's
half for
it's
them.
better for you than it is for us, but it's only like
But
one road for me.
would
Like
you
it's
stay?
what's that?
Would you stay, or you would head back and drive home another two
Oh,
and a
we
half
would probably,
hours?
yeah, we would probably head back, but we're just on Route 80. I mean, like
Yeah, I guess
it's
so.
like
Sure.
it's like 2 miles off of Route 80. So yeah, I think it might not. I guess it'd probably be about 2 hours for us.
How
I think.
far are you from Pittsburgh? Another three
Pittsburgh's about 2 hours and 15 minutes away.
from you?
Yeah,
I've never been. I always wanted to go.
you've never been to Pittsburgh?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude,
That's a
yeah,
great town.
I know.
yeah. If
I've
you guys
heard.
come out, we're going to Pittsburgh.
I've never. I've
Comic
always wanted
shops are
to.
actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You can see the Mister Rogers statue. Like you can see. I mean, again, just like Jimmy's saying, you can't do everything in one day.
Yeah.
But like, holy crap! Pirates games are so cheap, and it's like one of the best stadiums in the league.
Yeah. The
Like
stadium's awesome. I love that stadium.
you,
Yeah, Dolph. When I went out there with Jace years and years ago, though, the Penguins were in the Stanley Cup.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Then
so
they
we
win
so we walked to the igloo. They were playing the game out on
on a
the
giant jump.
on a giant jumbo street on the lawn outside of the igloo, so you could watch the game with everybody. There was like thousands of people there.
That's pretty cool.
And then right downtown from there, they have all of these abandoned factories and stuff
The,
like
the
that. And they
steel
were
mills.
having a citywide art show of like just people that wanted to put their art out.
That's kind of
So
what they
there
did
was
in
like these
Easton.
That was
weird,
South Side.
like these crazy, like little art shows in these abandoned buildings. It was just like the coolest
That's
thing.
like what they did in Bethlehem, Easton, with the steel mill, with all that factories. They like reappropriated into like gardens and art galleries and
And
stuff.
then Jimmy also got to eat at the first Primanti Brothers, because the OG Primanti Brothers is there in Southside.
What does that mean?
Primanti
Randy
Brothers.
Brothers is just a famous,
Yeah, it's like a famous kind of corned beef
Oh, okay.
sandwich.
and they
Uh,
put their fries in the sandwich.
yeah, fries and cabbages in the sandwich.
That's
It's
cool.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's a disaster on a bun, but it is very tasty. Um,
Yeah,
so
of course my metabolism was much higher then, but
yes,
I ate like crazy that
Sure.
weekend.
but Duff, like the freaking we could go to the Warhol Museum, and that actually takes about 2 hours to go through, but it's crazy cool.
What's Warhol's connection to Pittsburgh?
That's where he's from.
He's from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you so I'm a long time a member of the Carnegie Museums, and so it's only $150 to be a Carnegie Museum member for the year, family member. So that means you get two adults and two kids in everything, but it's deducted from your checking account on a monthly basis, so $12.50 a month, and it costs for four people to go to one, it's like $70. So if you go to two
Sure.
museums,
Yeah.
you're already doing good.
Yeah.
And all so under the Carnegie umbrella is the Museum of Natural History, and Carnegie funded pretty much most of the biggest dinosaur finds in history. So the biggest dinosaur ever discovered is actually named the Diplodocus carnegie after Andrew Carnegie. Dippy the dinosaur in London is just a copy of the one that's in the Pittsburgh Museum because Carnegie paid to have 26 life-size models of that shipped to the major museums of the world.
That's
So
cool.
like their dinosaur, their Museum of Natural History is bonkers. But if you get a
That's like
Carnegie,
when you go to the Field Museum in Chicago. That one is incredible.
yeah,
But they have that T-Rex that's been fought over for however that thing was like auctioned for like I don't know, $70 million or whatever it was. They also have the two man-eater lions from that movie Ghost in the Darkness.
Well, that's right.
Yeah, they're in there. I saw them. I was like, oh, those are the lions. That's so cool.
oh really? I didn't know they had
Yeah.
those lines.
You saw the movie?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Val Kilmer and Mike Douglas.
And they say that if you look at the stats, they look at them, they'll still stare at you as you walk on
I mean,
by.
they're not threatening looking. They just because they're kind of hairless. They don't have the manes, but they're both there. It's kind of cool.
where they were female lions.
Two females.
Were they abnormally large?
No.
They made them males in the film, didn't they?
I don't think so. I think
I thought they made
I
them
think
males
were
in the film.
females. Or maybe one was no, one wasn't a male and one was a female. I thought they were both female, but yeah. It's funny how they're just in Chicago.
But yeah. Anyways, that museum is awesome. The Warhol Museum is really cool too.
I
And you
didn't know
literally
he was from
just get
Pittsburgh.
to.
I thought he was a New York Greenwich Village born and raised guy.
Nope, he's actually
Funny.
Pittsburgh for the longest time. Before he. So yeah.
He just went to New York because it was easier to be Warhol in New York than it was in
Sure, I
Pittsburgh.
guess. I mean, if you're going to, I mean, that's kind of the
But they have
capital of the
really
70s
cool.
grunge art.
They have really cool panels from like window displays that he did, his early
That's
stuff.
cool.
Obviously, all his influences. So they have one of Basquiat's biggest pieces is there. Keith Haring's like giant Keith Haring pieces are there, and then so many Warhol's like famous. The Gretzky one is really cool, like in a bunch of his portraits. We ended up um, my ex-girlfriend and I went when they had the kind of his like muses. So it was like all the Grace Jones stuff that he did,
Yeah.
and oh, I can't remember the other ones, but like yeah, it's a really cool
He
museum,
did
and
Marilyn
you can
Monroe.
you just
He
walk
did-
across the Warhol Bridge and it's right there,
That's cool.
and yeah, so the Clemente Bridge, all those bridges are rad too. Walking across the bridges and yeah, but the Mr. Rogers statue is rad. Everything's pretty cool. Yeah, it's very accessible to get to everything.
We'll make a plan. All right, I'm going.
Doss
I'm
fading
fading.
with
Jimmy.
Jim.
Jimmy got some energy, and now I'm fading.
All
All right,
well,
boys.
good
Richard,
talk.
thanks for
You know,
sticking
good-
around with us. And
Good
whoever,
chat.
whoever is the other viewer, maybe it's one of you guys that are just watching the chat. But either way,
All right.
thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys.
We'll try to do this more often.
All right, see ya.
I'll be awake.
Yeah. Later.
Bye.